Oh, salute. Good afternoon. Welcome. Good afternoon to all my good citizens out there. Everybody moving in the street. You know what I mean? Y'all know it's Tuesday, August 12th. And I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because with Him all things is possible. Yes, y'all. Um, I waited to get on here. You know what I mean? Because told y'all I wasn't doing the morning chop ups this week. So of course I had things I have to do because I have to get prepared for this week. But shout outs to everybody out there. I'll be back with the morning chop ups. Don't worry. Probably maybe Friday, maybe Saturday morning. I'll be back. Um, I don't know. One of those 2 days. But wanted to get back in. Get back in touch with y'all. Of course, if you've seen the thumbnail, you see what we get ready to get into something interesting that I don't know if it happens or if it's just entertainment. But we're gonna talk about it. It's crazy, but I got to bring it up. I'm not the first one to bring it up, but I like to put my own twist on things. So we're gonna sit here and talk about this. Andre Ward wanting to smoke with Anthony Joshua. All right, so let's get into it. So for my newcomers, my regulars, everyone, welcome to the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, baby. And make sure you tell them over here is where it go down there. Cam, I see you. What up? Killer. What's up, Cam? So the other day, I'm just happened to be I just happened to be going through, social media and I see Andre Ward say, now if he makes a comeback, it would have to be against Anthony Joshua. And I'm like, Andre Ward, are you fucking with us? Are you serious? Or are you just capping, Ward? And it seems like he's not capping. He actually wants to smoke with Anthony Joshua. Now, before we all start criticizing, before we all start saying, out of all people, why him? Before we all start asking why, um, you know already that this is not him talking about Jake Paul. Thank God. Um, I kind of see this. If he didn't retire, I kind of would have looked at this as like Roy Jones going to fight John Luis. That's how I kind of would have looked at it. Uh, hold on, I messed up. Uh, Here we go. Or y'all can take a trip out of here. There you go. Good afternoon to all you trolls. Find something else to do because I don't have time for you jerk offs. So when I look at this and I say, is this entertainment? Will the powers that be actually let this happen? And how much criticism would AJ get if he went through with this? Because seeing it as the fight with him and Big Baby never happened, the fight with him and Deontay Wilder never happened. Um, should he get his good back with Daniel Dubois? Daniel just got, some people might have wanted to see that happen again. But him and Andre Ward, uh, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Might look good on paper, but far as in, them actually doing it, um, I don't know, y'all. Y'all gotta excuse my camera if anybody want to know. Listen, I gotta fix it up where it looks a little better. But when y'all come in here, don't ask me no dumbass question about my cameras. When you come in here, speak. Y'all, you stupid ass trolls don't have nothing else better to do but to ask dumbass questions and say dumb shit. This ain't the channel for it. So just know when you come over here, you will be blocked. This is not a channel where I entertain trolls because you people are not important. So anyway, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is mighty brave of Andre Ward. Why out of all people, I would say that he is the weakling of the crew. And I mean, is he the weakling? Uh, is he the weakling of the heavyweight division? What we call Joshua that? I don't know. I don't know if we would call him that. I don't. I guess we probably would call him that. He would be the one to go after. There's probably a lot of other heavyweights, but it could be a money grab. It could be a money thing too. Um, and I don't know, y'all. I mean, could this fight actually happen? I mean, I don't know. Some people are gonna say because a lot of y'all are gonna argue about who wants to see it. It's not valid. But if Andre Ward is thinking about coming back and they actually make this fight, let me tell y'all something. Y'all going to watch it because it's two real fighters. You're gonna watch it. There's no way in hell y'all tell me you wouldn't watch it when y'all sat there and watched Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios, and that shit was horrible. And even though Ward's a little younger than Pacquiao, y'all going to watch that. There's no way you're gonna tell me that you're not. Um, it's just basically, like I said, him going from a light heavyweight to a heavyweight. But I'm sure now Ward's probably not even at the light heavyweight as far as what he walks around with, because what you walk around with, the weight that you walk around is not the weight that you fight. It's a whole different. So Ward doesn't look like he's out of shape. He might be still in the gym, still doing his thing. But if he is fighting, I'm sure he's going to put on some weight and put on some muscle. Um, but we don't know if the powers that be would even let this happen. Um, that's still something that we have to think about before we all get excited and we start predicting what'll happen and who will win and all that, because we love doing all that. We don't actually know. I can't even tell you how that fight would even go down. um AJ is not hard to hit, and we've seen that in a lot of fights. I think Andy Cruz exposed that. It ain't been the same since. How can Ward pull it off? I don't. Ward is a very smart fighter. Um, like Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather, very smart. Now he might not move like them. He might not be a lot of y'all favorite fighter, but he's very intelligent. He has a high IQ, and he knows the game. He knows the sport. He knows how to win, and this is the reason why he was able to retire undefeated. But honestly, AJ versus Andre Ward, I don't know. If there's these fights on the table where it's Andre Ward versus, oh damn, I forgot his name already. That's crazy. Jake Paul, then I'll be like, no, not Jake Paul. I'd rather see him and AJ because it'd be two real fighters. Uh, get you out of here. So, I don't know how that would go. That would be super difficult, y'all. If AJ wants it, which we don't know if he do, we don't know what AJ's doing right now. Just imagine if this actually goes down. There'll definitely be a height difference and there'll definitely be a weight difference by at least, I don't know, 30 or 40 pounds. AJ's a big boy. So you're talking about maybe a 30 or 40 pound difference, which that's a lot. I don't know, y'all. I'm up here trying to figure it out, man. I'm not up here trying to be like everybody else, still trying to find ways to break it down. I can't do all that. Yeah, yeah, BBO, you didn't hit me neither, man. You didn't hit me and let me know nothing. I knew you was in New York, but you didn't hit me, man. I was sick anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. I wouldn't be able to come down. I was sick for about 2 weeks or about a week and a half, I would say. So it wouldn't have mattered. We wouldn't have been able to get up with each other anyway, man. I was sick real bad. I just got better like on some last week type shit. So yeah, man. But it's all good though. I'm sure there'll be some other events coming in New York. Yeah, I'm glad I feel better too, man. I'm glad I feel better. Um, so before we can start making any predictions and assuming, we don't even know if this fight actually happens with AJ and Andre Ward because Andre Ward could want it, but Anthony Joshua might not want it. Oh, Thomas, yeah, Thomas, yeah. Thomas is a wild boy. I'm gonna see him on Saturday at my annual barbecue. Um, he might not want it, and I don't know. And I'm sure AJ response was like, you know how AJ is. Are you kidding me? He wants to fight me out of all people. John, what's up? I see you. Out of all people, he wants to fight me. This could be the AJ's thought, and AJ could easily be like, what am I gaining from that? And I might not get nothing out of it. I mean, we don't know how these guys think, and the problem is a lot of y'all like to assume like y'all know how these fighters think. You don't know what the hell these fighters are thinking, or you can't tell these fighters what money they should take or what they shouldn't take. So if there is possibly next year a Andre Ward versus an AJ, people don't think Ward can beat AJ, but honestly, I think Ward would put a. Yeah, I think he would too, man. The problem is, you know, as good as Andre Ward is, we have to still remember that when you go playing with the heavyweights, it's different. He picked a good person, right? Like when Roy Jones went up to be a heavyweight, it was good that he picked John Luis. He couldn't. Not a flame. It's not as. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like when Roy Jones picked John Luis. Yeah, when he picked John Luis, right? Even though John Luis was a big boy, that was weakest link out the heavyweights, if you ask me. Roy couldn't go up and pick no Lennox Lewis. I don't even know if he could have went up and picked a Chris Bird, Samuel Peter. There was a lot of guys in that division at the time. The Klitschko brothers. You had Shannon Briggs that was still active. There wasn't too many other guys Roy Jones could have went and got because they would have slept his ass. John Luis just happens to be the weakest link. Hate to say it, that AJ is the weakest link out the heavyweight division. You don't have to agree with it, but it is what it is. Out of all names, you had Andre Ward could have said, I could have went for Wilder. I don't think Wilder is one of the weakest links of the division. He could have easily said, I'm going to get Wilder. I'm going to get whoever. So him picking AJ, it's not really a surprise to me. But him wanting to come back to fight at heavyweight, that was a surprise to me. That was a major surprise because I'm like, okay. And we know that Andre Ward doesn't cap. Smash that like button coming in, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Smash that like button. He doesn't cap. That's something that Andre Ward has never done. A lot of fighters, they cap. He's never been one of those. Hold on, John. Let me see if I can... Okay. Yeah, I can. I got you, John. Now you're a moderator. He's just never been somebody who does the capping. So, my question is, does this fight actually happen? I don't know. I don't know if it actually happens. Because some of y'all, damn it, let me fix this camera. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to make sure all this is straight. Yeah, if the money's right. If the money's right, John. Yes, if the money's right. Because we get a lot of fights that don't make sense. As far as when I mean by don't make sense, we don't mean money-wise. We mean, why would we want to see him versus him? What sense does that make? But when there's money involved, it makes sense. I never thought Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios made sense, but it was money involved. There's a lot of fights that we gonna get that to us, it don't make sense. And we're gonna feel some kind of way about it, but it makes sense to the powers that be. So if we get this Andre Ward and AJ, it's gonna be crazy. And like I said, now some people are gonna go, yo, we don't know if Andre's in shape. We haven't seen him. First of all, y'all stop doing that because y'all act like y'all have to see a fighter training in the gym. You don't have to see a video of a fighter doing shit. Just because you don't see a video of him, that does not mean he's not training. Yeah. Yeah, he feels like he could beat him. I'm telling you, it was the same reason why Roy Jones went for John Luis. He had to pick the weakest link. He had to pick the weakest link. I mean, what is Andre Ward supposed to do? Give me Big Baby Anderson? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? Or Big Baby Miller? You know what I'm saying? Why not? And there's money in that. There's money in that. The question is, even though John answered it already, and he said if there's money in it, yeah. Will the fight sell? Because Turkey's like no pay-per-views. I don't even know if Turkey will be involved in this. He might be involved in this. I don't know who's involved in it, but if Turkey's involved, oh yeah, the bag is going to be correct because that's the direction that we're in now. We're in the direction of going to Turkey to get that bag because nobody else is going to put up that bag. So I have a feeling that if this does happen, Turkey will be involved. Now, I don't know if the fight will take place here in America or probably Saudi. I know the press conference, the build up to it would be crazy. It would be crazy to see. Now, I know we're in times where it seems like all the throwback fighters are starting to make a comeback. You see Pacquiao coming back soon. You'll see Thurman come on back some sooner or later. You'll see Charlo. But even before that, you know, uh, Gary Russell. You know what I mean? You slowly are starting to see guys make a comeback. Andre Ward has always been one of my favorites. He's always been a disciplined fighter. Um, you never really seen him get into nothing. You never seen him been in the ring out of shape. Um, you don't see too much from him, but him always doing his job. But for anybody who thinks that he's just jumping back into this and he hasn't been in the gym training, a lot of y'all don't know shit about boxing. Y'all really don't. Y'all don't. Because I know y'all gonna say, well, when's the last time we seen him fight? Well, when the last time we seen Pacquiao fight? Before Thurman came back, how long was he gone? Before Gary came back, how long was he gone? So, what are we talking about? You know, everybody has a right to come back and make them some money. Some people got maybe one or two fights left in them. Yeah, and even though I retired one time and I said I wouldn't return, hey, I want to come back. And if I'm going to come back, I have to make it worth it. I got to come back to get a bag. I'm not coming back for a couple thousands. I'm coming back for a couple millions. And I believe Turkey will be able to one. He'll be able to be the one who can cut that check because that's everybody's go-to. I tell you what I'm not going to do in this situation. This is why I'm making the video now. Because when the talks start to happen, if there's any negotiating and both sides start to talk, let me tell you what y'all are going to do. Y'all going to be on these channels like y'all do best, crashing out and talking a whole bunch of nonsense that y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I seen it last night on my brother BFTB's channel. A lot of y'all just be running your mouth and embarrassing yourselves, not knowing what y'all talking about. Steady just sitting back, shut up, and learn. So y'all gonna spend weeks, and even if this fight don't happen, of course, you know, because it has to be talked about, y'all be spending a lot of time talking about why it didn't happen. As if these guys are in the same weight class. I won't be a hater and say I'm not interested in seeing it. Because nowadays it doesn't matter what you're interested in seeing. That because you're not interested in seeing something, that doesn't mean everybody else is. Some people are going to come out their pockets and they want to see it. Some people are going to talk about it on their lives. They're going to entertain it. I like it. I got no beef with AJ. You know, he's not everybody's favorite. You know what I mean? I mean, only beef I really had is him not taking the Wilder fight. But can you imagine if he did take this fight and he got beat by Andre Ward? There ain't no who the if he gets beat by Andre Ward, no disrespect, who the fuck is gonna want to see him and Wilder? Or probably see AJ again for any other heavyweight, even if he fought Fury. See, that's somebody right there that Andre Ward could have picked, but you can't because Fury's still a threat. You may not like him, but he's a way better fighter. Tyson Fury's a way better fighter than Anthony Joshua. See, he's been knocked down before. I would have said he was knocked out in that first Wilder fight, but he's been knocked down before, but he's never knocked out. It didn't happen for AJ. But before everybody jumps out the window and blows this whole thing out of proportion, we're hoping that in the next couple days or weeks, because rather if you want to see it or not, everybody else got to come back to make their money. Gary got to, Pacquiao got to. We're not talking about Jake Paul here. Then it's something different. Okay, ain't nobody paying for that shit. We talking about two real fighters that people are going to tune into that. Smash my like button when y'all come in. Good afternoon, all y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody, good afternoon. Blessings. Everybody is going to want to see that. Even for the people that's like, I'm not paying for it, whatever. Y'all all say that. Whatever, cool, whatever. But you're going to watch it. Y'all act like there's a difference. I'm not, well, the difference is I'm not paying for it. But yeah, but you're still watching it. So it don't matter. When I said I didn't want to watch Pacquiao and Barrios, I didn't watch it. Period. Even if it was free, I didn't watch it because I didn't care about it. I cared about the Fundora and Tim Tszyu, wishing I could have watched that. But you know, it is what it is. It's a great. I got no beef with it. If they go ahead and they make that fight next, man, I mean, a lot of y'all are going to be in your feelings about it. Who wants to see it? Who wants to see it? Well, don't matter what you want to see. You know, we living in times where you can only cross your fingers and hope and pray that, hey, I hope one day I could see this fight. Because believe me, there's a lot of fights out there we're lusting for. Believe me, there's a lot. Trust me, y'all. I'm not saying I don't care, but there's a lot of fights that we're lusting for. But the fact of the matter is, you just might not get it. A lot of times, the fighter's not interested, the team is not interested. There's no money, there's not enough money involved. Sometimes money plays a big role if fights not happening. And even though some of these guys get, 5 million or 11 million thrown at them, some don't even want to take that. So it becomes a hit and miss. If we can only pray that for the next 6 months to a year, that we are able to get the fights that we all want to see. But y'all have to stop. Y'all have to stop depending on you being a fan of boxing for these fights to happen. Because in order for these fights to happen, the fighters got to want it. This is what y'all not understanding. Y'all can sit on these YouTube channels and argue with the host. The host can argue with another host. The host can argue with itself. But you got to remember, all this arguing and all this back and forth we doing is not going to change the fighter's mind if they decide to say, you know what? I don't give a shit what the fans want. I'm not breaking no bread with him. I don't want to fight him. Not all the time, a fighter is scared, y'all. He's scared. Some fighters don't like fighters that much where they just don't want to break bread with them, which to me is crazy. Because back in the days when you had Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali, all these guys, everybody got it in. Rather if you like somebody or not, you got it in with them. Because at this point, yeah, if I don't like you, that's a real reason to fight you now. And there's a belt on the line, and there's money. man, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I got about 3 reasons to whoop your ass. I don't like you. There's a belt on the line, and I'm trying to prove that I'm the best. I got 3 different reasons to whoop your ass. These dudes today, and some of y'all sit up here and y'all defend them. Y'all defend these dudes as if y'all know them. Y'all such fans of them, but they constantly letting y'all down with their decisions. Some fights make sense, some don't. It's hard to tell a fighter what money he should get. I mean, I've said at times, hey, you should take this, you should take that, you got to take something. But then I realize if this fighter knows he's going to go in there and get his ass whipped, it's got to be worth it. If he knows he could possibly go up in there and have 4 or 5 bad rounds out of 12 or 10, I need that bag. And I get it. But y'all don't get it because y'all asses ain't never boxed before. You barely been in the gym. Y'all don't know what that feels like. So y'all want to constantly tell a fighter what he should do, or you ready to crash out because you want to know why is he taking this fight. To understand boxing, you have to understand the business. Y'all don't want to understand the business. Oh, I know the business. You don't know shit. Some of y'all are sitting and talking like your managers, like your promoters. You're neither one. You don't know nothing. We all have enough room in this boxing to learn something, and we could all learn it together. But we don't do that. We choose to sit up on YouTube every night arguing and debating about some shit that we don't know what we talking about. Riding these fighters that don't care nothing about us. Instead of accepting it what it's for. You know what? I enjoy boxing different from the rest of y'all. I got my own different way of enjoying boxing the way y'all do. Y'all only enjoy boxing when things go y'all way. The minute something's not going y'all way, it's World War III. Now it's boxing's trash. I don't want to watch it no more. Boxing's weak. Your feelings start to get the best of you. You know why that never happens with me? Because I enjoy boxing a little different from the rest of you. I don't put my all into the sport of boxing. I don't put my all into these fighters because I know at some point everything is not going to be peaches and cream. And disappointments are a part of life. So there's going to be something that happens in boxing, just like life, that's going to disappoint you. And sometimes you have to prepare yourself and go, you know what? I'm not even surprised that happened. Hold on, y'all. So I'm not surprised when certain stuff happen. You have to accept stuff the way it is. You just have to do that. That's how the world works. If you're going to be a boxing fan, be a right one. You have to know when, okay, this makes sense and that don't make sense. But everybody wants to come in with all the bickering and arguing as if you know what you're talking about. You know what I like to do when I go to certain channels or certain places? I like to sit back because I don't know what I'm walking into, right? So I know I know I know how to handle certain things. So you know what I do? I go, you know what? I sit back and I listen, and I'm learning. There's certain people like Greg Hackett and YSM Media, Champside, um, Drew, and certain people that when they talk, and anybody else I didn't mention, when they talk, I like to sit back and listen because I can learn something from another content creator versus me thinking I know everything. There's a lot of things that they say that make me sit back and go, you know what? I never looked at it like that. But it's really you people that don't have channels, not all of you, some of you are the ones who just can never be satisfied. Now, like I said, you seeing this Andre Ward and Anthony Joshua, and I'm sure a lot of y'all like, get the hell out of here. Why don't Andre Ward come back and fight Canelo? Why don't he come back as a 60? Why don't he come back as a 68 pounder? Hey, why don't he go up there and fight David Benavidez? Go to 175. Why is AJ not fighting Wilder? Why is AJ not fighting the other dude I mentioned? Why is he not fighting him? Why is he not getting his rematch with Daniel Dubois? He got to get his lick back. I don't know why all this is not happening, y'all. But I know it's a money grab. It's a money fight. Rather if y'all want to believe that or not. It is what it is. And it makes sense. But does that mean it's going to happen? Let's just say if AJ was to win, what does that do for him? Not much, right? Ward was the win. That would just be an embarrassment for AJ, but what position does that put Ward in? Y'all think y'all see Ward making some comeback? Oh, because he beat a heavyweight. What y'all think? Y'all gonna see him as a heavyweight? I believe this is a one and done for Ward. This is not a like a comeback. One fight, one and done. Because some of you idiots will go, well, if he beats AJ, then maybe he needs to have Wilder next. Maybe he can get in there with Big Baby Anderson, and maybe he can get in there with Dillian White. That's the stupid mind. That's what y'all will start thinking. When he never said I was coming back to 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 take over the heavyweight division. It was never on his mind. I didn't hear him say that. I heard him mention one person, and that was AJ, Anthony Joshua. So let's hope, or let's see in the next couple days um, how all this will play out with them. Because you hear some interesting things in boxing. And the crazy thing about boxing is when you get news like this, you're trying to stay on that, and then here comes some other news that kind of distracts you from it. That's why I said, you know what, I'll get the AJ and Andre Ward out the way. I was gonna wait till later this week to talk about it, and I was like, nah, you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll do that now. I'll talk about it now because later this week I'm not going to have time for that because I have such a busy week. But it was something just interesting that caught me, and I said, "Oh, we got to talk about this." I said, "We got to talk about this. This is a must." Hold on, y'all. Let me put some up in here. Need y'all to smash that like button for me, man. So because when he was talking about the fight with him and Jake, when they was talking about the fight with him and Jake Paul, I was like, man, I'm definitely don't want to see that. Wasn't even going to attempt to watch that. Not even a little bit of piece, but maybe if it had hit YouTube, I probably would have glanced at it. That's what I usually do when I don't watch fights. I'll wait till they hit YouTube and I'll go and uh, I'll go and glance at it. But this one right here, don't bother me. Um, really don't, because there's a lot of fights we get in boxing that should bother us. But I get it; it's business, and you either gonna watch it or you're gonna turn your TV off and not watch it. And some of y'all, it's hard for y'all not to watch boxing because y'all want to be a part of the discussion. So when we're sitting, like I said, like I've always said, when we're sitting online, you want to be a part of the discussion. But some of you watch the fight or claim you watch it and still get everything wrong. And we like, you said you watched the fight, so how did he win the first 3 rounds? Or how did this guy, like, what fight was you watching? I watched the same fight y'all were watching. Well, you must have been in and out, sleep or something. Whoever when you woke up, whoever looked like they was winning is who you were going for. Because some of y'all, I'm like, you couldn't have been watching the fight. But y'all will say whatever just to be a part of a conversation. And that shit just be crazy to me. It just be crazy to me because I'm like, no, we weren't even watching the same fight, bro. But Anthony Joshua, Andre Ward, let's see how that plays out. Let's really see if it happens. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and do backflips over that and do cartwheels and oh my God, it's happening. The Jim Lampley voice, it happened. I'm not doing that. And guess what? Now, if you ask me how I feel if the fight don't happen, okay, it don't happen. Now, y'all question become why you think it didn't happen. Well, obviously somebody wasn't interested. Maybe the networks wasn't willing to invest in that. Maybe Turkey wasn't interested. I mean, if you smart, you'll know how some fights are not happening. It don't take it doesn't take for you to have a diploma to know why. A lot of times it ain't just people can't come up with the money. The money is always there. If people are not interested or they think it's not worth investing their money into something, why would they do it? Because y'all want to see it? Then I suggest y'all take whatever money y'all making from y'all 9 to 5 job or whatever money you make from YouTube, and all of y'all should divvy it up together and give it to the promotional company, give it to the promoters, managers, fighters, and make it happen. Because a lot of y'all be talking like y'all got money to make shit happen. A lot of y'all. I listen to some of y'all talking. I'm like, y'all talking like y'all got that bread. If you got that kind of bread and you can match what Turkey Al Sheik can do, or if you can match what Jake Paul do it. Do it. Y'all can't do it because y'all barely making it in life. You're barely making it. These people are financially fit where they can take their money and do whatever. If something's interested and it's worth investing or it's worth paying a fighter, then they're gonna make it happen. But if not, they're gonna be like, man, we not dumping our money into that. Yeah, we understand that's what the fans want to see, but the fans don't know anything. They just see two guys and they're familiar with their names and their record, and they want to see it. But we can actually lose money behind this if we decide to go through with it. Did y'all ever stop to think about that? That these people actually lose money investing into something and it don't go the way it's supposed to? But y'all not worried about that. Because y'all didn't dump y'all money into it. Yeah, you might have paid for the pay-per-view. That's the easy part. These people sometimes are dumping millions into some shit, and then it don't go right. And that's the loss that they took, not us. And sometimes y'all just need to be reminded of that. Something to think about. So, I'm not gonna stay long, y'all. Gotta bust some moves. I know 45 minutes is good enough. Because I'll be back tomorrow again. But yeah, AJ, Andre Ward, who knows, man? That's a tall order for Ward. And I know he'll have to find a way to get in the inside and beat that body up. Before he can go to the head, he'll have to get in there and beat that body the hell up. You know, you beat that body up and then everything else is history. But there's also going to be some things that Ward going to have to watch out from AJ because he's still dangerous. He's still a heavyweight, and it's hard to come to somebody's territory and just take over. You know, we've seen Roy do it with John Luis, but that doesn't mean it can happen in this. This fight can go either way. Who knows? We'll have to wait the next couple days or weeks. And all you people who like putting up shit that's not true, y'all be putting up stuff that this fighter retired or this fighter signed, and then we find out from the fighter or the promoter or the manager or the trainer that no, that's just social media. We haven't even sat down to negotiate anything. So all you fake ass media platforms that's doing that, y'all like to post stuff on Instagram. I see a lot of y'all doing it, posting stuff. Stop it. And I don't even understand what makes y'all think y'all can do that as if somebody's not gonna catch on to what y'all doing. Cause y'all trying to get enough clicks. Y'all making yourself look crazy and you ruin it for every other person who's out here really creating content. So y'all need to cut that shit out, man. You really do. So, like I said, we'll see what happens in the next couple days and weeks, and we'll see if AJ responds. You know, we'll see if Turkey Al Sheik has anything to do with this. We got to hear from Eddie because you know that's AJ's boss. Yes, boss. We have to wait to see what happens with that. All right, but I'll be back tomorrow. Love y'all. Be safe out there. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. All right, be safe out there, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow night, man. Probably won't be the afternoon. Probably be tomorrow night. All right, love y'all. Y'all know what it is. It's the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go.